Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, and I'm back in the gym for another workout video. In today's video, I'll be taking you through an upper body workout, and this is workout 1C, which is a continuation on with the upper lower body rotational split routine that I've been posting here on YouTube. And the way the program is structured is we'll rotate through different exercises for each upper and lower body workout. So in this upper body workout, we're going to be primarily training the chest, shoulders, and back, but we'll be using different exercises compared to the previous upper body workouts in the series. Now, I always like to start off my workouts with a general cardio warm-up, and this is just to increase blood flow, to increase your core temperature, and to basically prepare the body for the workout that's to follow. So for this cardio warm-up, all I'm doing is going for a light jog on the treadmill. I'll vary my cardio warm-ups depending on what body parts I'm training or basically just what I'm in the mood to do. So I may use like the rowing machine, I may use an elliptical with the moving handles. Today I felt like going for a little jog on the treadmill. So I'll do this for about 5 to 10 minutes, again just to get a light sweat worked up and to prepare my body for the workout that's to follow. Now after my cardio warm-up, I'll do some specific mobility exercises to warm up the joints, tendons, and ligaments of the body parts that I'm going to train. So right here, I'm doing some arm circles, forwards and back, and this is to warm up the chest, shoulders, and back. Also going to do some rotator cuff rotations, and this is an awesome exercise to keep your shoulders healthy and to prevent injury. Just use very light weight, or even the weight of your arms, and perform rotations up and down, as well as side to side, to help limber up the small muscles inside the shoulder joint. And one more exercise that I like to do as part of an upper body warm-up routine is the Bradford press. And this is a fantastic move that's going to warm up the entire shoulder complex. It's basically a shoulder press variation where you alternate pressing to the front and to the back of the head without locking out your arms in the middle. So this keeps constant tension on the shoulders at all times, and it's really good for increasing stability and mobility in the shoulders. And now that we're all warmed up, we're going to get into the weight training portion of the workout, and the first exercise is the flat dumbbell bench press. And this is a good compound pressing movement that's going to help to add mass to the pecs. Now, even though we did a thorough warm-up at the beginning, it's still important to take the time to do progressively heavier warm-up sets for each exercise. By doing this, you're going to greatly reduce your risk of injury, and it's also going to allow your body to become acclimated to the different movement patterns so you can get a better pump in the muscles. Now, one tool that I find helpful for myself is wrist wraps. When I'm doing a heavy weight training workout like this, I'll often wrap my wrists with powerlifting wrist wraps, and I find that it just gives me that extra support in the wrists and makes the movements more comfortable. The dumbbell bench press allows you a lot more freedom of movement with your hand positions compared to using a barbell. You'll notice here on the video that I'm actually holding the dumbbells at a slight angle, and by doing this it actually helps to take some of the strain off the shoulder joint and place more of the workload on the chest and triceps. Another tool that you may find helpful is lifting chalk, and the benefit of chalk is that it helps to increase your grip strength. And how it works is it dries up the sweat on your hands and it increases friction between your skin and the handle. So when you're grabbing the barbells and dumbbells, you'll have a more secure grip if you use lifting chalk. And you'll find that most advanced lifters will use chalk when they're doing their heavy free weight exercises. And for this one, the flat dumbbell bench press, I recommend that you work your way up to doing 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. If you can't get at least 8 reps per set, then the weight is too heavy. And if you can do more than 10 reps, then you'll want to increase the weight for your next workout. And moving on with our workout, I'm going to do the Nautilus pullover machine. Now this is an old school piece of equipment, but it is fantastic for stretching out the chest, stretching out the lats, and all those muscles along your core. A lot of people tend to neglect stretching exercises with their workouts and either focus on the mass building compound moves or the isolation pumping moves. But stretching moves can add another dimension to your muscular development. So that's why it's important to include exercises where you work the muscles through a fully stretched position. Now, if you don't have access to this machine, you can do a similar movement with a dumbbell pullover or a barbell pullover, but I don't think it'll have the same impact as the Nautilus pullover. It's just something about this machine. It can take your muscles through that full range of motion. It allows you to get that full stretch at the top and then bring your arms all the way down in a nice smooth arc and get a peak contraction in the bottom. Now for this one, I recommend that you work your way up to doing 2 sets of around 10 to 12 repetitions. And next up in the workout, I'm going to be doing some isolation work for the shoulders with the side lateral machine. And this is one of my favorite shoulder exercises because it allows you to isolate the shoulder muscles and use heavy weight in a very controlled fashion. I mean, due to the setup of the machine, it's very hard to swing and cheat the weight up like you can if you're using free weights for dumbbell side lateral raises. So for this exercise, I'll start off with a very light weight and just do sets of 10 repetitions and increase the weight with each set, gradually working my way up to my top working weight. And then when I get up to my top weight, I'll rep it out to failure and then even go beyond failure with the use of partial repetitions. Because even if you can't lift your arms all the way up to the top, you can still keep moving in a partial range of motion and keep constant tension on the shoulders the entire time. So it's a very safe way to push yourself to failure and beyond to get a maximum muscle pump in the side delts. So for this one, I recommend that you work your way up to doing 2 sets of around 10 to 12 repetitions, and then if you choose to, you can even continue on past failure with the use of partial burn reps at the end of each set. And after the side lateral raises, I'm going to do some work for the rear delts with the rear delt fly. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the pec deck machine with the reverse fly variation. And this is a great isolation exercise for the rear delts. It's very similar in mechanics to the way that the side lateral raise machine works the side delts, but with this one all the emphasis is focused on the rear delts and the upper back. And when it comes to shoulder development, very often the rear delts get neglected compared to the side and the front delts. So it's important to focus on your rear delts if you want to create well-balanced shoulders. And for this exercise, just start off light and increase the weight for each set until you get up to your top working weight. And then when you're there, keep that weight for 2 sets of around 12 to 15 repetitions. And now we're going to move on and train the back with the underhand grip lat pull down. And this is a unique pull down variation that's going to place most of the emphasis on the lower lats. So what I've done here is I've attached an easy curl bar to the lat pull down station, and the reason I like using the easy curl bar is because it's more comfortable on the wrists and the hands when you're doing an underhand grip pull down. And it's good to cycle your pull down variations. So within this rotational split routine, we've started off with the wide grip lat pull down in the first workout, and in the second workout we did the parallel grip pull down, and now in this one, the third rotation, we're doing the underhand grip pull down. And by doing this, you're going to hit your back from different angles for good overall development. Now, regardless of what pull down variation you use, it's important to really focus on good quality repetitions. So make sure to get a full stretch in the lats by letting your arms go all the way up and extend at the top of each repetition, and then pull that bar all the way down and touch your chest for a full peak contraction. Once you get to the point where you can no longer touch your chest with the bar, then that's a sign you've hit momentary muscular failure and it's time to end the set. And the next exercise is the deadlift. Now, most people do deadlifts at the start of their workout when they're fresh and full of energy. It's going to feel totally different to do deadlifts when your muscles are already pumped up and pre-exhausted from the previous exercises. So you're not going to be able to handle as much weight this way, but you'll probably feel more of a pump and more muscle activation throughout your lats. It's not that one way is better than the other, it's just a different way to structure your training. And with this rotational split routine, I like to include different styles of training for variety and for maximum muscle stimulation. And just like with all exercises in this workout, I want you to start off light, do several progressively heavier warm-up sets, building your way up to your top weight working set. And once you're there, do 2 sets of around 8 to 10 repetitions. Now when you're doing big compound exercises like the deadlift, I would recommend trying to use your raw grip if possible. But as you work up to your heavy working sets, you may find that your grip is a limiting factor. So if that's the case, you can use either lifting chalk or lifting straps to help reinforce your grip and complete more repetitions. And to finish off the workout, I'm going to train the abdominals with the decline bench sit-up. And this is one of my favorite abdominal exercises because it works the entire frontal abdominal wall as well as the hip flexors. And this is a challenging exercise, especially if you have access to a decline bench that is adjustable. So with this one here, I have it set at a 25-degree angle, which is fairly steep, and it allows for a good contraction in the abdominals just due to the leverage of the exercise. Now with bodyweight abdominal exercises like this, I'm not going to be doing progressively heavier warm-up sets because I'm just using my body weight for every set. But instead I'll focus on performing higher repetitions and building fatigue in the muscle that way. So I'll shoot for at least 20 reps per set and do about 4 sets total. Very often when I'm doing this, I like to work up to doing 100 total reps. So that could be like 4 sets of 25, 5 sets of 20, or basically whatever set and rep combination it takes to just complete 100 total repetitions. And trust me, if you do 100 total reps of this exercise, your abs are going to be burning. So that concludes the upper body workout. In my next video, I'll be covering the final workout in the upper lower body rotational split. That'll be lower body 2C, so make sure to stay tuned for that one. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback about this, please feel free to post those down in the comment section below, and I will chat with you down there. And if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel. Click on that notification bell so that you stay up to date with all my latest videos. And before I clue up this video, I want to give a big shout out to Platinum Gym in Conception Bay South, Newfoundland. That's the gym that I train at, and the owners have been kind enough to let me shoot my videos there, and that's where I shot the exercise footage for this video at that gym. So again, a big thanks to John and Steph at Platinum Gym for letting me shoot my videos there, and I'll have a link to their Facebook page down in the video description below if you want to check them out.